This here is a box, obviously, and it has a very interesting, broken, and very dirty console inside of it. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, Greg, come on, consoles, enough with the console content. We're above that, right? We're PC gamers. And I totally get it. I game on my PC, but I also still play consoles. I have the Xbox One that I repaired. I still play all the time. There's actually really cool games on it, some exclusives that I like. And that's one of the main reasons why I still have them. Now this is probably not a console you game with anymore, and that's because it's very old, an OG original Xbox. Like, it's just called the Xbox. There's nothing behind it because it's the first one. So let's see what's inside, shall we? It looked pretty rough in the photos, so I'm expecting a pretty disgusting looking console. There she is. Wow, I forgot how big original Xboxes were. Wow. Yeah, this thing is bulbous. The smell is also, as you can imagine, quite interesting. We've got some graffiti on the top of the console, which is okay. And then we have colored Xbox and power button disc tray logos. Like, these were painted red for some reason. I'm not sure why that was the case. It's also very dusty, and the dust here is not your average dust color. This is brown, so it was probably mixed with either smoke or something else that's giving it this very pungent odor. I am, oh man, I'm ready to restore it. I'm ready to clean it up because it smells awful. But I'm also hoping that whatever we do inside of this thing, of course, trying to make it look as factory, as original, as new as possible, also kind of as a byproduct fixes the power issue here. Described by the previous owner, it just doesn't send any signal to a monitor. In fact, I don't even think it powers up. So we'll check that before we take it apart, just so we have a starting point. And then at the end of this, assuming we don't find any obvious physical damage after cleaning it, we'll try to power it on again and see if that alone can fix the problem. Are you ready? I sure am. I'm ready to clean this up. It's really, it's messing with my sinuses already. Let's get into it. Stay with me.
NZXT has rolled out their new function mechanical keyboards in varying sizes and with plenty of customizability via their BLD service. Choose between 5 different Gatoron switches, 3 chassis colorways, 2 color keycaps, and multiple accent caps and cables for a truly unique custom mechanical experience. Enjoy RGB lighting, key remapping, and multiple sizes as well, from full size to mini TKL, like this one here. It's my favorite. It packs a lot of punch in such a tiny package with media keys, volume roller, and durable aluminum top plate to round out the industrial feel. To start customizing your NZXT function mechanical keyboard, be sure to click the link below.
Now, before we get started with the actual cleaning, a couple things I want to take care of. First, I need to put some gloves on. I'm noticing that I'm starting to get a headache already, and I've only been around this thing for like 10 minutes. I think it's because this console was smoked around, and I don't respond well to cigarette smoke, like, at all. It gets pretty bad. And I definitely don't want this in the house any longer because I have kids here. So I'll be taking it outside for the remainder of the deconstruction. And in there, you'll see, yeah, we'll take it all apart. We'll clean most of it out there. We'll bring it back in once it's been washed as well. So we'll take a hose to it, maybe some soap, and scrub the plastics, especially where a lot of that tar and stuff will stick. The other thing I want to do is turn on my air purifier because holy crap, it needs it. This is my Big Daddy Levoit air purifier. You guys know they've been a sponsor on the channel for a good while, and I'm so thankful that I have these because, well, first off, this is like an overkill one for a room this size, unless you do what I do. But it's perfect for now because there's so much crap circulating. This stuff will literally cleanse the air. It'll make it smell so much better in here. It'll get rid of all the dust floating around, and in this case, possibly some leftover tar. It's not really in the best location. It should be more in the center of the room, but it works well enough here. A very powerful fan filtration system. It basically pulls in from the sides, basically circular, 360 degree, all that nasty crap in the air, and then filters it and then expels clean air out the top. So you just get really nice circulation in the office. Man, I really need to get this thing outside. Yeah, just give me a second here. These purple gloves, yeah. That's much better. Anyway, long story short, I have Levoit air purifiers in every bedroom in this house, including my 2 kids' rooms, my own bedroom, the living room downstairs, this office. I can't imagine a house without them. So consider picking one up for your home today if you haven't already. You can find them linked in this video's description. Big thanks again to Levoit for being the product sponsor of this video. Now, that out of the way, let's get this thing outside. My allergies are just going haywire. By the way, is this DC sticker? Actually, it's not even a sticker. It's like painted on here. Is this not the most period correct thing you've ever seen on a console? Oh my God. this, yeah, this explains the smell. Definitely. I mean, we've got the brownest looking dust and likely tar I've ever seen caked up in a console. This is so gross. So someone was more than likely smoking around this thing while it was running, so, you know, the air is just being pulled in by the internal fan, and yeah, just caking up. This is, oh man, I can't even talk in here anymore. It's getting so bad. Now, I'm not super familiar with flow patterns in the original Xbox. I've never taken one apart before, so that'll be fun. But it looks like this is the exhaust area, and you can see there's still tons of brown dust just sitting on these little vertical, or sorry, horizontal fins. It's not looking too good, and I imagine the insides look just as bad, if not worse. So we've got the console in the garage, and the first thing we need to do for disassembly is flip it upside down. There should be 6 screws under here, 4 underneath the rubberized feet, and another 2 under these stickers. I'm not sure where. Well, one's here, and then another one is under one of these. So we'll carefully pry these off, one at a time. The adhesive sometimes isn't wanting to stick, so we'll need to take care of this with reassembly. We'll just peel off the old discolored stuff for now. Screws will come out with the T20 Torx. Again, 6 of them. The 6th one is actually right here. You can see the little indentation in the sticker. We're just gonna poke through it. I'm not worried about, you know, what it looks like underneath. And with them removed, we can flip this back around. I believe the cover just slide right up. Now this is where you'll start to see just how gross this really is. You know, look at this, just like there's stuff growing in here. It looks like it was infested with bugs or something. It looks like droppings all over the place. And you can see our large 3.5-inch hard drive. Yeah, throwback to how old this console is. All right, let's dive deeper. So let's see, we can get this ribbon cable out, at least from the hard drive side. Be very careful, because this stuff is pretty old, so I imagine the plastic is gonna be a bit brittle. Disconnect the power as well. Molex power, woo, throwback. Then we've got one, looks like a T10, yep, T10 Torx, holding the hard drive cage in place. I could get that. Yep, this isn't magnetic, so that's gonna be a bit of a problem. But now the remainder of this should just slide right out. Be careful about this cable here. There we go. Oh my gosh, it is bad in there. So not only, yeah, I mean, this is not only dusty, but also corroded. But the motherboard and the power supply board in there are super caked. This might, I mean, at this point, I would normally just give up. It's so old and just rusted in there, and it's probably why it's no longer working, but whatever. We're gonna keep going. Pull straight up. There we go. Holy cow, it is gross in there. Okay, and here we are. You can see the main board on the left there and the power supply on the right. This is an integrated PSU, so you don't have an external brick, which was nice for the original Xbox, although they reverted to external bricks later on, which kind of sucked. Yeah, you can see how bad it is in here, and I do see corrosion, so I'm not sure if this is salvageable. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the power cable running to the main board. This has a clip on one side. Kind of wiggle it free. Alrighty, and then a few more connections. I'm not sure if you can see from that angle. A few more connections toward the front of the main board. We'll disconnect these, and we're gonna try to get this main board out of here. Let's see, one more on this side. There we go, and then just a few Torx screws all the way around. Also, yes, that is a disgusting cockroach. Disconnect the fan, and I believe that should be it. Easy does it. Hey, buddy, what's up? It's really gross in here. You probably don't want to see this. It's real nasty. See that? It's nasty in there, huh? Oh, you want to be on camera? You're not camera shy, just like your daddy. The camera's following you. And back. And there's Mama coming back from Epcot. And you're totally blown out. There we go. That's a little better. Hello. And with a couple more Torx screws, we can slide this power supply board back and then up, kind of finicky. Be very careful with this. If you don't know what you're doing, don't touch this. I'm gonna get this fan out next. A flathead screwdriver helps tremendously. Come on, there we go. All right. And just the last few pieces up front, mainly for peripherals, front power and the like. our controllers. Let's see, I think this, is it clipped in? Ah, there we go. Just a bit stubborn is all. Pull back and up, back and up. There we go. And at this point, I think we can detach the metal shell from the plastic. It's just, yeah, again, a bit finicky. Oh, there's dust going everywhere. That is so gross. And for the power board, I believe, you just need to unclip. There we go. And with the front part of the unit detached, we can just pull up on this board here. This is again for power and the eject button for the optical drive. So my neighbor's just started mowing or whatever he's doing. It's gonna be a bit loud. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut some music, which is not what I usually do for the GCDC series. All I'm gonna be doing is basically washing everything off. You can see most of the stuff on the ground is like main board, power supply, the fan, things I don't wanna get too wet, especially the power supply board. But the stuff outside that you're about to see us get, let's start washing is all plastic or metal, something we can scrub. And so I'm gonna wet it all first, hit it with the hose, and then if we need to take soap to it, which I imagine we will, we'll do that. Okay, here we go. Ready? Cut into some music. So, there was a time when I thought I could save the shell of the Xbox. Most of the stuff you just saw cleaned is sitting behind me, and it is ready to be reassembled. A few things that I did that you're probably questioning, including painting the metal shell, or the metal, I guess I should say the metal frame inside of the plastic shell. I painted over that just to make sure that whatever corrosion was happening, they could see some of the rust on this thin steel, is stopped or halted. So we basically put a coating over it. It's just paint, but it should prevent further corrosion, or at least delay it now that we've painted over it. And we kept it with a metallic look, so it looks close to stock. I think it's better than nothing. Given the age of this console, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Let's get this box open here. Now this is, because I had no choice, a new shell. And I had to do this because, well, I kind of ruined the other one. I'm really hoping this product is as described. Let's see. Definitely wrapped up a lot, with a lot of paper. Golly. Oh, wow. This looks better than I expected. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's decent. It's a little scuffed up. It's used, clearly, but it's not the end of the world. This is just another Xbox shell. I bought this for like 30 bucks, something like that. It's not bad. And we're just gonna throw everything we just cleaned in here. So it's kind of a half new Xbox. Yeah. Oh, wow, this actually came with the metal frame as well. So basically everything except for the motherboard and the power supply and the ribbon cable, optical drive, hard drive. But yeah, everything else is here, including front cabling. That's pretty cool. So we can outright just replace it. And it's nice because this one is not corroded and it's not painted over either. And would you look at that, we also get a bag of screws. Pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and get some paste over the CPU as well as the GPU here. I'm just gonna do a little dot like that. And then this one, I'm gonna do more of an X pattern. And yep, that should spread nice and evenly. And then, oh, these dreaded plastic clips. I really hate these. They break all the time, so we're gonna be very careful here. Get this one right here. Okay, and then this one. There we go. I have no idea how to reset these clips. I think it just kind of slides on like that. Yeah. All right, that seems good enough. And same goes for this one. This is a larger one. Jeez, that hurt. All right. Push. Why is that not going all the way down? I actually think I'm putting this on backwards. Let's try this direction. Yeah, this this makes a bit more sense. So push down on this side. That is more like it. Okay. Yep. I like the mounting pressure there. Motherboard is ready to go. Gonna drop it straight in, and then we'll screw it down and take care of the connections at the front. We'll also connect this fan, which was also included with this replacement. That is pretty sweet. This cable goes right here, and these two here, and right here. They are keyed, so they'll only slide in one way. If I can get it in there. There we go. A hard disk drive sits in the tray like so, and then we've got these 4 screws here. Oh yeah, she ain't going nowhere. I really wish this had cleaned up just a tad more. There's some corrosion on the surface of the hard disk drive that I couldn't clean up. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Greg, why don't you just replace it outright? That involves a bit of setting up, and it's just really not worth it given the age of the console. I'd rather stick with what already works. I'm gonna drop the power supply back in now that it's all cleaned up. We'll slide the connectors portion in first, and then we'll set the remainder of the board down. This looks to be lined up, and we'll tighten things down. Just a few more Torx screws. Power cable connected. Let's see here, easy does it. Nice, nice. Drop her straight in, and tighten her on down. And here we are, an Xbox original that has, for the most part, been fully restored. Yeah, I wish I could do a bit more about the scuffs here, but I think we're in a better place than we were because we don't have the graffiti that we had before. So let's see how this goes. I've got the power cable connected. I also have an adapter for this audio video out to HDMI, which is why I have my laptop connected, because it needs USB or micro USB power to work. So that's connected here. We'll plug this power cable into the wall, and that should be it. I'm kind of nervous. Let's see how this goes. Will it power on? No way. No way. I should probably connect the HDMI cable I was talking about. I'm an idiot. Are we gonna get picture? If we get picture, I will be so freaking thrilled. That would just be awesome, because that would mean that us deep cleaning this fixed it. Check the optical drive. It does not like that. Optical drive did not want to open at all. Yeah, I can hear the motors trying to get things open, but it's not liking it too much. Okay, so let's power off again. And we're getting power to our adapter here. I'm really surprised it even turns on. That video is connected properly, so... Man. It just took a minute. It just took a minute. That's all I said, to be patient. An original Xbox, folks. There you go. Oh my gosh, what a throwback. It wants us to set the clock. I'm so happy. I don't know why. I'm not even going to use this. Like, it's so old. I mean, for nostalgia's sake, I might play a game or two on it, but to be completely honest with you, I grew up with the original PlayStation, and that's where a lot of my nostalgia lies. A lot of the games that, just like the OG PlayStation, you know, Gran Turismo, games like that growing up, I loved. So, you know, maybe I could make a case for having an original PlayStation around, but I don't really need an Xbox. Maybe if someone else does in the local Orlando, Florida area, I'll just give this to you. You don't need to pay me or anything. Just meet me to pick up. Yeah, I mean, I'm only offering that because I'm surprised it's even working, but I really have no use for it. So I think the best way to handle this is to give it to someone who would appreciate it and use it. That's kind of the point. So I will try my best to, let's see, I think the one thing, yeah, I still need to tinker a bit with the optical drive because that doesn't want to open. I think I didn't set it in there correctly because it's a little tight up top. But other than that, it works, and I don't know what to say because this was described as not working, DOA. We deep cleaned it, folks. That's all we did, and that seems to have done the trick. Thank you guys so much for watching this far into this one. I know that consoles are kind of under most folks' radars just because you can usually get decent, if not better, value out of a gaming PC. Maybe not the case a year ago, but now that graphics cards are coming down in price again, it makes a lot of sense to go the gaming PC route. That said, there are obviously huge fan bases, loyal fan bases for consoles. This being an older one, maybe it was just nostalgic for you. You wanted to just see one of these be restored. I wasn't sure how this was going to end, but I'm glad we got it working again. And yeah, hopefully it goes to somebody who will appreciate it and use it as intended. It needs a controller or two. I'll include the adapter as I don't need that here. So you can have that, hook it up to a modern TV, you should be good to go. With that, if you or someone you know has a very dirty console, something like this, it should probably work. But if it doesn't, deep cleaning it might fix it. You never really know, especially if it's an overheating issue. And you live in or around Orlando, Florida, and you're able to drop off and pick up the console, then I would like a chance to deep clean it here on the channel. That would be much appreciated if you'd do that for me. It allows me to continue making videos like this, and as I guess a return of the favor, I won't charge you anything for it. So if you'll drive out to me, I know gas being what it is, it's pretty expensive. I won't charge you anything for the service, and hopefully you'll be happy with the result. You'll get a clean console out of it. Doesn't matter how old or how new it is. If it's pretty dirty and you think it needs a deep cleaning, reach out. Our email is in this video's description. If you guys enjoyed watching this one, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the next one. I still can't get over the fact that this thing is working right now. Well, it just turned off, probably because it's been sitting on the clock screen for a good while. But wow, super impressed. Thanks for learning with me.